If I love you and you love me, right, then we're responsible for each other. If I bring you to him, I'm standing and I'm putting my word on who you are, right? Now, if he comes back to me and say something about you, then I'm going to get him. So all parties can be involved. It's like you say you go there, well, they said. You gotta go get they, bring them back to me so we can have a conversation. That's the only resolutionary thought process, don't you think? Like, how you gonna get it resolved when they way over there talking, you know? And to be honest with you, bro, in the streets, they kill you first, because you the messenger. You friends with both sides. That means you an enemy to both. So never go to certain people and say what they said, unless they right there. You see what I'm saying? It's not me being mean, it's me giving you life skills, right? And I cooperate with the government. This smells like the internet has started already. I don't even like it, right? And so, in real life, bro, and to be honest with you, whoever they is, I could give you my personal number. Go call Day so I can see who Day is so we can get it resolved. And I won't be, this is not a violent thing. I'm not trying to be violent, I'm a peaceful person. But I don't like bullshit, see? Just being straight up and down. Can you see the logic in what I'm saying, bro? Yeah, that's all. Whoever Day is, please take my number before we leave. I got some jerseys to sell too. We can sell them. I'm not trying to hurt no one. But I am trying to be concise about the way I operate, and I don't want nobody playing with me, period. I was locked up in Louisiana, and I was locked up in Mississippi, and I did 17 years total, maybe around like 16 and a half, 17 years total.
What were you locked up for?
Drugs and gunplay, like I'm shooting, you know, I don't want to sound, I just don't like to talk about that, but to be honest, I actually initially had, let's just say it got dropped to a manslaughter charge. I was locked up for that, and I was locked up for drugs. My real name is Freddie Douglas Southwell. My street name is Smoke D. They know me by Smoke D or Smizno. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. That's where I'm from. Where I'm from is Jackson, Mississippi.
Where?
I grew up in North Jackson. I was locked up in Louisiana, and I was locked up in Mississippi. And I did 17 years total, maybe around like 16 and a half, 17 years total. I jumped off the porch of probably, I guess, to getting introduced to violence at 8 years old. The first time I actively took part in being violent was 8 years old. I pulled a gun on my stepdad for hitting my mom. Yeah, so I jumped off the porch, seeing things that children wouldn't, you know, that's traumatized, and I'm still, I guess, affected by it today. You know? I jammed myself up, bro. You know, I could say that I didn't have a protector or father, but the world raised me. I didn't have parents that actively instilled moral code in me. It's just whatever my DNA had, I came with that, and the world was my daddy and my mom. Sorry about that, bro. So yeah, I was actually locked up long before I got locked up. Let's just put it like that, you know? You know how people, like, they look at prison as a bad thing? Like, it's bad, it's bad. No, it's not a bad thing from the perception of time, or what man calls time. Because we then have time to develop our minds in places like that. And you get to see the world for what it is. Like, I did 17, But I know a lot of people I encounter and engage out here today, they got a whole life sentence in their head that they created for themselves, and they don't even know it, right? It's about believing what you see. And you should not outdo that. It took my life to change me before I could change my life. Everything that happened to me was because of me. You know, started out on the thing, I ended up doing music on a high level. I got four gold records, a platinum record. I had a lot of fun, and I did everything my way. Even up until now, I never had a job for anyone except for me. And I see a lot, you know, it's just going through the process of life and learning your way. Everybody got good and everybody got bad. So it's like an experience thing. I had to learn on my own because I didn't have nobody to listen to or teach me even how to learn. So I bumped my head, and in the process, I got stronger because of it. I started a 501c3 foundation called Trill Life, you know, and it's by and way and sponsored by One Voice. And so I came out of prison with this idea to help Black men, because that's the problem. There are no Black men, there's no discipline in the home, I know, because I grew without it. So right now with that, we actually have a seven spot tour. We're gonna do 7 shows actually in the prisons from a message standpoint to, introduce more programs into the 501c3 world that wasn't there. So music is a great psychological tool. They use it on our kids. So I figured that we could go back into the prisons that were allowing us to do these shows and deal with some music that they can listen to while they're in there, minus the drugs, minus the, whatever, because it's not there. The basic thing is for us as Black men, we gotta learn how to communicate. I don't even know you, but you done told me somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody do that. That's the problem. That's why we're always killing each other. See? And it's based on your conscious level. Nobody's gonna think no higher than their conscious level gonna allow them to, bro. You know what I'm saying? Do you see though how we come into contact with each other and already there's a story from they?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And it's they. They meaning us. In the community of self, you got I, we, me, them, and us, right? And I is only gonna do for self. So they is a bunch of people that's collectivized to spread something. And in the streets, that's dangerous, brother. See, it's dangerous. If you got 2 opposing forces and one person is able to go give a message to this side, then go give a message to that side, he's the enemy of both sides. Does it make sense? So like, it's the thing about Black men and conditionalized into hating each other, seeing the negative imagery. That's what I'm here for. I don't particularly care about they, but they don't bother me anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that with we and us, just the willing for that, that's gonna be the solving to the problem, not asking anybody to come give us what we already got, see? And so therefore, my conscious level has me in a place where I'm not concerned with, that kind of stuff. You need to be focused and think about life and be able to live. And in order to do that, we need each other. Our kids is growing up, look at where we live. I got 9 kids, I don't want them to grow up like I did, but it look like right now they're gonna grow up worse, right? So that's what that, and the prison, like I said, the prison thing, bringing in programs that'll help Black men wake up, be conscious. You know what I'm saying? Know about God. Know your meaning and your purpose out in the community that you left. Show you didn't know then, it wasn't your fault, but you know now. We need you Black men, you 80% of Black men out of the 15% of American Black people. We need y'all back out on the streets. See, I'm campaigning for that. I don't really get into the music and stuff, bro, except for, like you said, the celebrity part of it. I can be relative to some people and I can make them relative to the ideas of growth, right? So that's kind of where I'm driving at. Well, beside from that recording, did I make music?
I'll write songs.
Yeah, you know what? Guys in prison, they'll probably tell you like it was one time it was so bad that like, I had this little recorder thing, but I could hook it up on the speaker with the, and we did it. And I would like minister to the guys at night, you know what I'm saying, about everything going on in the zone. And that's when I realized the power of music, because you can't really lie and play in prison. They don't get you. Can't do that. And so in that way, and yeah, I wrote a lot of stuff, man. I wrote programs. I got a program where I was writing letters from myself to myself. You know what I'm saying? Start calling it self-psychology, because I know I don't listen to folk. I ain't never had nobody to listen to. And everything that I am is because I made the mistakes, right? So I would get home, I got home, and when I got in them times where I, would start forgetting that I can't tote no pistol no more, I get one of them letters and remind myself where I was at the time, how much I didn't like it. I put a little prayer in there so that I could listen to me if I couldn't listen to no one else. And that's deep psychology that plays. I never would have thought of that if I hadn't went there. You see, what these people are doing, they're creating a different breed of people, you see, that are gonna be able to help. And these people are our people. The new-minded, the transformed-minded, everything works good when it's God, So, well, first let me say I don't know what it feels like to have an out date, because I guess I want to say something about what you're saying, an out date. That is in reference to time. And there, for me, there was no time. It's like waking up to the same day over and over. And so that process from a conditionalized standpoint will drive you crazy. It'll steal your mind from you. So once I figured out that man made time, then, put it this way, an inmate gonna let the time do them. A convict is gonna do the time. He knows how to get by. And a person that's seeking for betterment, seeking God, they stand outside of time and they let the time do itself. They just try to keep waking up. So that end date would have worried me to death. It would have killed me because of when I started it, right? You look at it and you gotta go, especially the second time. So every day was an end date, I guess, because of the amount of danger, the amount of, you can't really say it's an end date until you get to that date, bro. That's, and I'm just thinking in real time. Because any day could be your end date, not getting out. Well, yeah, you got, in Mississippi, you got to. Like, even the Christians are like a gang in Mississippi prison. Because, if you're not a part of we won't say a gang, we'll say a clandestine situation, because black folks are clandestine by nature. But if you're not in a clandestine situation, then you're out on the island by yourself. And the term for it that they use when I was there is peon, right? And so that opens you up to everybody. You got to keep in mind, the dudes that like men, they got their own section too. So you don't want to stay out there for them, because they're going to be the first one to come and address you. And there ain't nothing you can do about it or nobody else, because you don't belong to any other sex, you see. Everybody in there is dangerous, so you don't want this set, 50 people. You can imagine how it's going to be if you kick a wall, right? So that kind of keeps everybody safe, because everybody's dangerous. So, yeah. You ask questions that would be easy normally, but the difference in the way I look at things now, bro, I'm still not out, right? They do something to you psychologically in there that once you're in there for a certain period of time, you're conditionalized to existing in there. So even though my body's been out here over 8 years, right? My mind is still readjusting, and I'm having to unlearn things in there so that I could learn new things out here. So I'm still not out. I have emotional issues because in there I had to mail my emotions to Siberia, which is the coldest place on the earth, right? Or I could not survive. And doing that for an elongated period of time, it takes your happy away. And so now I'm at the stage to where I'm, intelligent enough to recognize, by the grace of God, the things that are happening to me psychologically, right? Most people can't, and so I'm trying to bring my happy back. I'm trying to find, the love that I didn't have, not for me, but for my family, my kids. All of the stuff that I missed and wanted, I'm becoming that now. See? I deal and I push a serious line, my brother. And you can tell from the words that I'm speaking. I don't even like cameras, but I know that what I am and what God made me and the experiences I've been through, I could share and maybe help someone. You see? Because I know that if it's 80% of black men in prison, I know that a lot of the ones coming behind me are gonna have to endure and be faced with some of the same issues way worse than I was, right? And that's the thing, communicate. People gonna talk shit, but talking just make friends. It's about the doers. That question sounds funny because it's like they're doing something wrong already. Who you see, right? So that's kind of like, so let's see here. What would you do? Focus on starting your own business. Like, I wouldn't suggest someone to go to school. I wouldn't suggest you go to school or college. I suggest you get a trade. I suggest that you get something to get your life started today. The school and the college is just a systemic process. Let's just say you go all this time, you be a doctor or whatever, you're only gonna get doctor money. And that's a cap on that, you see? You wanna get your own ideas, you wanna give yourself enough time in this world to get your own ideas projected out. I mean, you think about it. You work 9 to 5. How many hours is that, in a day? You see what I'm saying? Let's just say you work 10 hours a day, right? Most people, 8 to 10 hours a day. Then you gotta get 8 hours of sleep, right? I seen this somewhere, Dick Gregory or somewhere, but it made sense. How much time do you have for yourself to focus on your own dreams, your own things? You see? Then you spend your time working to try to survive in a system where you're never not gonna own anything. You don't pay the taxes, they come and take it, right? What we doing? What we doing? You work to make a living and get all of this money, then you have to turn around and sacrifice the money for your health. You get 65 years old, now you're ready to retire, you're already dead. See what I mean? That kind of stuff. They'll pay a woman to keep the husband out the house with the child support system, then they're gonna take the daddy to jail when they don't pay.